Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Juliet. I'm a Pearson Test of English tutor. On here on YouTube, all I basically do is teach you tips, tricks, and how you can ace your PTE exam so you get that desired score. If this sounds like the tutor or the kind of tutor you would want to have take you through the PTE, then stay tuned to my channel. In today's video, I will be looking at secret tips to ace the PTE repeat sentence. I'll be looking down into my notepad so I don't forget what I'm about to share with you. What I'm about to share with you are tips that will revolutionize, your PTE speaking. You know that the PTE speaking is one of the most important modules in the PTE exam. And this task, repeat sentence, is one of the most important, if not the most important task in the entire PTE exam, especially in the PTE speaking. Because this task, repeat sentence, will contribute scores to both the PTE speaking and the PTE listening. Let's get started already. Now, point number one, stay focused and not distracted. I realized that if you begin to be distracted in the repeat sentence, that you would lose out on what the task is about. Okay, first of all, I think I've gone in too far. If you're new to this channel, repeat sentence, it's an interesting task in the Pearson Test of English exam, especially for the speaking module. It's actually the second task in the PTE speaking module, which makes it more interesting. Okay, now this task will contribute scores to both the PTE speaking and the PTE listening. It's not going to be contributing few points like 5 marks, 10 marks. No, it's going to be contributing points like 30 marks, 40 marks, in fact, like 40 marks to your PTE speaking. To your PTE listening. That's why it's really very important, okay? So I'm going to be telling you the things you need to do. Now, let's continue with the first point I have raised, which says stay focused and not distracted. What happens in this task is you would hear an audio say a sentence, okay? I'm just going to play one on here and then we'll hear what the audio says.
It's difficult for us to control our feelings of disgust.
So it says it's difficult for us to control our feelings of disgust. So if you're not focused, you would miss out on what this thing is saying. Now, I understand that there's something called exam tension. It happens to the best of us. Yeah. So when you get into the exam hall, you're kind of on the edge because you don't even know how the exam is going to go because you want to get the scores that you're looking for. Okay. And then usually there are a lot of people around you taking the exam. Also kind of reading or repeating sentence at the same time as you. So what you want to do is just listen and get it done. But somehow you might just lose focus just in a few seconds, just like a glimpse, and then you miss out on the word that is being said by the audio. Now the instruction says you will hear a sentence. Please repeat the sentence exactly as you hear it. Okay. Now once you hear that sentence, all they want you to do is repeat it exactly as you hear it. If you repeat it that way, you should be able to get all the scores. Now you're scored 3 marks for content, 5 marks for fluency, that's oral fluency, and 5 marks for pronunciation. So if you're missing out on every of the word the audio says, you'll be losing out on the score for fluency. Hold up. Now, Pearson score guide would say if you get 50% of what was said, you will still get the mark. But what I'm trying to say here in a nutshell is if you actually pay attention, you would get everything that the audio says. Yeah, if you stay focused, if you're not distracted, if your mind doesn't just flip back at things that you're wondering about, or if your mind doesn't wander around, absolutely, you would get exactly what was said. I'm going to play this one back again and you just pay attention.
It's difficult for us to control our feelings of disgust.
It says it's difficult for us to control our feelings of disgust. Now, if you're not focused, you're going to lose out on some of the words that is being said. Now, this one was just like 5 seconds. We have the ones that are as long as 8 seconds or 9 seconds. That is where staying focused pays. Okay, so if you stay focused, you should be able to get exactly what the audio says, and you repeat it that way, so you should be able to get your marks. Now, the next point I have here on my list is speak fluently. Remember that there are 3 criteria that gives you your score in the PTE speaking. We have the contents, we have the oral fluency, and we have the pronunciation. Now, fluency gives you 5 marks, and pronunciation gives you 5 marks. That means that if you're not speaking fluently, you'll be getting that 5 marks. And remember that this task is important in the success of you passing your PTE speaking and the PTE listening. So there's need for you to speak fluently. When we say speak fluently, what do we mean exactly? We mean you shouldn't mutter the words or mumble the words. I normally say to my students, don't mumble the words together. If you listen to that audio that was played, you heard what it said. Say it's difficult to hide our feelings of disgust. So if you say it's difficult to mumble our feelings of disgust, that's mumbling the word. Once you mumble the words that way, you're not being fluent anymore. That automatically means that you're not going to be getting all the scores for fluency. Okay, so what I'm saying here as point 2 is speak fluently, because if you speak fluently, you'll be sure to get that mark or that score that you need, because fluency is 5 marks. Speak clearly, open up your mouth, speak. Try to say what you heard. Now let's listen to this audio, which will take me to my point number 3, explanation.
People get product information from advertisements, friends, family, and product reviews.
So you heard that. Say people get product information from advertisements, friends, family, and product reviews. That was a whooping 7 seconds of audio. Okay, so my point number 3 says repeat words that you remember. Now don't beat up yourself because the sentence was so long and you were not able to say exactly all the words that you heard. If you beat up yourself, you're not doing yourself a favor, because you're still in number 2 out of 20 questions. I mean, you're left with 18 tasks to do. So what I'd say, point number 3 is repeat the words that you remember. The ones that you don't remember, just mumble something there, okay? Or you repeat, just keep repeating until you try to get the exact length of words that you think was said. Okay, so this one says people get product information from advertisements, friends, family, and product review. So if you're only able to get, people get product information from advertisement and then you say, and product reviews. I mean, you've tried. If you can't remember the friends and family because they're in the middle, but remember the beginning of the word and then you also try to remember the last part of the sentence, then that will be good enough. Let's play the audio again and let's see what it says. Let's see how much you can recall. Try to do this audio with me and see how much of this sentence or of this audio you can recall.
People get product information from advertisements, friends, family, and product reviews.
So if you actually say people get product information from advertisement and friends and family, product reviews, you have even tried, okay? So if you're able to get even part of the words that were said, you should be able to get the 3 marks for content. Remember, content is what? Is 3 marks, okay? Now, when you go to Pearson's score guide, the score guide says you scored 3 marks for content, 5 marks for oral fluency, and 5 marks for pronunciation. So what I'm trying to say here in essence is this: if you're able to score, if you're able to get 50%, because that's what the score guide says, 50% of what was said, if you're able to repeat it, it says you get the entire 3 marks for content. You heard it very correctly from me. If you're able to repeat 50% of what was said, you should be able to still get 3 marks for content. What is important here is how you're able to pronounce the words and how you're able to speak fluently, clear English. You see, when you listen to the audio, that man wasn't mumbling the word. Let's play it again. Sorry, I keep playing it. Let's listen.
People get product information from advertisements, friends.
So he said people get product information from advertisement. He didn't say people get product information from, no, he opened up his mouth. People get product information from advertisement, friends, family, and product reviews. So you can hear every word clearly. So what is important is you speaking clearly. And also, if you can't remember all the words, just speak clearly so you can get the 5 marks for fluency at least. Then if you're able to speak 50% of what was said, then you should be able to get all the marks for the content. But I would also add, strive to get everything. But in a situation where you can't get everything, just stay with the ones you got. But never ever keep quiet over a sentence. That means that if the audio says a sentence, please ensure you get some words. Don't keep quiet. Don't, because you're losing a whooping 13 marks, which will not be good for your speaking score. Now, this takes us to point number 4. I've talked about point number 1, point number 2, point number 3. If you've been taking notes or if you've been following me, I'm at point number 4. Point number 4 says here, never make corrections over what you're reading. I'm going to explain this. I'm going to play an audio because this is the best way to explain this so you understand it easier or better. All right, let's listen to this.
The number of people in the world tripled during the last century.
The number of people tripled in the world during the last century. That's what the person said. We heard everything this audio said very clearly. Now, point number 4 says, never make corrections over what you're reading. So that sentence or that audio says, and the number of people tripled over the last century. So if you say the number of people tripled, the number of people doubled, tripled. Okay, the number of people tripled over the last century. Yeah, you're going to be losing scores, okay? Remember, this is a computer-based exam. So your whatever you say, once the audio opens up for you to speak, everything you say is recorded. So just imagine you say something, stop, then start again to say it. Doesn't make sense, okay? It's not like you're talking to man. It's AI. It's already been, it's waiting for you to say something. And what you say is what is used to score you. So you can't afford to make corrections over what you're reading. You can't say the number of people doubled. The number of people tripled over the last decade, over the last century, if I remember what was said. So it's very important for you to take note of. Never make corrections over what you're reading, because if you do, it's not going to tell, you're not going to get a good score. It's going to affect your score and you wouldn't like it, because this is one of the most important. Now, this brings me to the 5th point. Remember that this, in the first task in the speaking, which is the read aloud, you would hear a beep after 35 seconds of preparing to speak. Then once you hear the beep, you're expected to start speaking into the microphone. But for the repeat sentence, there's no beep. So that means that once the audio finishes, you're supposed to start speaking. Don't wait and say, I need to wait for the beep to go. There's no beep, Charlie. Boy, there's no beep here. So just try to speak once the audio stops. So that means that if I play this one again, let's play this one again and see what it says.
The number of people in the world tripled during the last century.
The number of people in the world tripled during the last century. So you can see what I did. Once the audio finished, I began to speak. Don't forget there's a 3-second rule in the PTE. 3-second rule simply says that if it's time for you to speak, especially in the speaking module, remember the microphone then opens up, waiting for you to speak. If the microphone waits for you for up to 3 seconds and you don't speak, it will close back up. That means that no matter what you say after the microphone closes back up, will not be recorded. It's on their website. You can check it out on their website. So this means that once the audio finishes for this task, or once the audio stops saying what it's saying, please say exactly what you heard, because saying exactly what you heard is what gives you the score. It's what they're waiting for. Remember again, there's no beep after the audio finishes. It's not like they read aloud that they give you 35 seconds to prepare. Here, they don't really give you that time to prepare. They wait for you to speak. So these are the 5 points I have laid out here for you today. And if you're trying to up your repeat sentence game or trying to up your speaking game, so these are the things that will help you get a good score in the PTE speaking. Have you been struggling with the repeat sentence? I've done previous videos here about the repeat sentence. I might link them in my description. If you're really ready to check it out, just go check it out. And these things I have shared here, they're going to help you pass the speaking, especially the PTE repeat sentence. This brings me to the end of the video. Please, have you given me a thumbs up yet for this video? What are you waiting for? Thumbs up, very important, so the video gets to the people that need it. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Help me. Let's go to the next level. You can't be watching my videos every day and not subscribe to my channel. I mean, it's free. I'm not going to charge you money for clicking on that red button. Please click on the red button on your right. And that's my subscription button. Join my family, okay? Subscribe to my channel. And you can check me out on Instagram at English_prep class and on Facebook at English prep class. I put tips there, share some of my videos and some things there that might be of help to you as you journey on this PTE track. Okay, I'll see you in my next video. Remember, if you have a question, do not hesitate to put it down there. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.
Ashley, look at me.